Okay, so I'm back early, so I decided to record. My hair is wet. I just got out of the shower, and it's not very warm. It's not very warm at all today. I feel like the weather is so manipulated, too. I mean, like, right now, this weekend, like, I feel like there's shit going down, for sure. And, but my hair is, since I stopped washing it, with shampoo, with it just being more natural and having its own coating and stuff. Like, I used to have to blow it dry because it was like so much more limp, but now that I stopped washing it, it's got so much more body. I can just let it dry by itself. But anyways, it's totally wet. I just got out of the shower because I just got back. And I'm back early because it was so crazy. It was so fucking crazy. And there is more stuff with just the recognition of these, it's like pockets. It's like vibrational pockets that people are kind of surrounding themselves with, that they are kind of enveloped in whatever it is that they've got going on, which is like, it's like separate. And it's so weird because like the awakening thing, how I'd said, you know, it's like pulling us in together as a collective, pulling us in. That's why people start having empathy and compassion and all the healing and stuff. So it's pulling us in like that. But it also, it is like defining people's, their realities more. Like, and when you go around to different people's, it's not like there's bad ones or something. You just go in and it's like, to me, it feels kind of like going from movie set to movie set. You're going in a movie set and it's what's going on in that movie set. Then you go into another movie set and it's what's going on in that movie set. And so it's like, in each person's vibration is whatever they're working on. But there's also these like bigger pockets of vibration. And I swear to God, I know that the highways and stuff are really portals. It is so weird. Like, things are becoming so much more, like every drive is its own thing. And there's just something about the way the cars move and everything. And then you switch on to another freeway and it's like a completely different world. Like, you just go on to a completely different world. It's got its own energy. And and when you're switching, you know, like how many I went on like the 12, the 82, the 90, the 405, the 5, and then some state freeways and stuff. So it was like everyone had its own thing. It was really trippy, especially like when you're on the, like the 90 and the 405 to the 5, because they're all big and they're all like around the same area. Because you switch those three right around Seattle. And so, you know, you'd think it would kind of be the same, but it's not. And then especially when I got on the state highway, it was like they're all moving together like in this chute or something. They're all moving I don't know. It's so weird. The stuff of like how you just start seeing things different than how you saw them. It's so crazy. But so the camp out thing, you know, I was really excited. I had cooked all that food and I had made all that food. So I just rushed home, washed my clothes, made all that food, like cooked all my food. Everything is so empty at my house right now. And so, and it's weird because nothing seems to matter. Nothing seems to bother me. Nothing, like, I feel so much in the flow, and like nothing needs to be forced. And when something happens and you didn't want it to happen, like, you're not like something that's like, fuck, you know, like when I was driving, I needed my daughter to transfer me money to get gas, which my card was not working all over the place. And I saw somebody else saying that he was throwing all that no ATMs were working. So there's something going on. And then whatever the hell in New York in the street seems completely crazy. Like, and I just saw footage of some naked woman just walking out in the highway, just shooting at cars. Like, people are, like I said, like the people who can't keep up with the frequency, the vibrations changing and stuff, because they aren't doing the work. They're too caught up in the 3D. And then when they try and, you know, anything to come in, they fight it. People don't understand how much they fight this shit with their own programming. And so their doubt, they're the ones who won't believe things. They're the ones who have to stay structured in this three-dimensional concept, the construct or whatever, so that they can understand who and what they are. And so it gives them an identity. Even though it's a false identity, it gives them an identity. And so it's just, you know, but it's part of the layers, it's part of the removal of the mask, of the veil, so that you can see through the illusion. And the more that you see, the more that you can heal and release. And so, you know, that people who aren't actively doing that, people who, you know, just keep distracting themselves. And there's so many things you can use to distract. And I think, you know, TV is a huge one, but drama and stuff like that, you know, these people are going to be losing their minds and stuff, you know, because it's very uncomfortable. And that's the ones who, you know, if everybody's going to be rapturing, that's what I've said the whole time. It's going to be the low vibration people who can't keep up with the changes on the planet. Why would you take the ones that were doing better for the planet and take all them away? Like, the whole rapture concept is like, I questioned my mom so many times. I said, yeah, but Mom, it's going to be heaven on earth. So why would you take the people who want to be on heaven off of the earth? And one thing too is, like, it's so weird how, like, the religious people don't understand the soul. They don't understand who and what they are. They don't understand the soul. They can just are so easily manipulated. And so, anyways, you know, there's going to be more and more people losing their minds and being confused. More and more of these, you know, murders, suicides, and just a lot of horrific crime stuff. What did I just see was some weird thing. There's just going to keep being just like lots of weird, you know, sad things. It's part of it. It's supposed to be. It's not like these things weren't going to happen. To me, it's like souls just create very dramatic stories. But if they are these templates, but see, it's like, what do you do? And it's, the drama is a part of it, though. The drama is a part of the awakening. So there has to be all these just outrageous, you know, horrific, just because it's all part of the people to begin to see and to begin to understand. Is there's so much to understand: who and what you are, what this place is, you know, where we're headed, what we're leaving behind, all of the stuff inside you from all the different lifetimes that you need to heal and the things you need to let go of. And, you know, so it's a lot. And I think, you know, that is one thing why it's just going so slow. It's supposed to, you know. I think even with the stuff that's going to go down, like if this bank thing is about to go down, which fucking hell, I goddamn hope so. Fuck, how long can they drag this shit out, man? But if they, even when they collapse at it, you know, it's going to probably be a slow, like, for people to completely wrap their heads around. Oh, this outrageous thing, yeah, was Canada. There's going to be a lot because of, they are kind of like the representation of, like, socialized medicine, because they were trying to move us into that. And there was a huge part of the population who wanted that. And so that's why we're seeing the ramifications of government controlling your health in so many different areas. But Canada is showing us some pretty deep things. And so, of course, tragic fucking story. It's not just a single guy. It's not just a guy who's married. Not just a guy married with one kid. Not just a guy married with one kid and a dog. No. A 35-year-old guy who is married with 5 children and kidney failure. 2 brothers offered their kidney, but because he hadn't done that, the government refused to do his surgery, so they just let him keel over in the hospital. And the absurdity, the outrageousness of the part that people have to really wake up to is that then they wanted the wife to donate his, because that's a big part of how they make money, is off of that. And when like, they've got these people who are probably fucking thousands of years old, they're probably parting out all the time. And then plus, it's part of our food. It's part of what they feed people. They take, it's just so sickening how this place is. And, just feed us the scraps all the time, like whatever they do. And, but that's a whole thing too, is, they force that on so many people. And then, those people aren't allowed to give blood. They're not allowed to give their ORGANs, even though they want them from the people who didn't take it. But it also, don't forget, it's about the experiment. And then also don't forget that when they are taking some of that stuff, they don't want the extra toxins that they injected. No, they don't want that added stuff. There's way too much stuff that was added in to wreck people's health. And then, depending on your DNA and what was targeted and your lot and all those factors, the biggest factor of all is destiny. We just can't get too much into the anatomy of the dissection of every little thing, because we got to keep in mind that this is the releasing of this flesh and blood concept and the restrictions that they have placed on us. This is moving us into living from our soul's perspective, from understanding we are the light, that this is an illusion. And when we can focus on our energy and really understand how energy works and our own energy and what we're putting out, and that they can't hurt us, it's sad because, that's a part of that thing too, is that guy didn't have to. He was playing his parts, playing the role. And so he didn't really have to pass. Like there's going to be so much, I think, about that, so many more miracles. We're going to see so many more miracles. Just as horrendous things, keep piling up, there's going to be really fucking cool miracles. And so, it's the dark going to light. But we have to see the darkness. It's got to purge out. It's got to come out. And just so many people were holding it so much inside of them, but it's a natural thing because, they had pain and trauma from past lives and pain and trauma from this life, and then not knowing what to do with the pain and trauma because we were being misled about, the whole thing, who we were, what to do with it, why it was happening, everything. Because it changes, your whole concept when you realize, everything is destined. Just like I was saying, so when I was driving and my daughter had sent me some money to get gas and nothing was working. And I knew, it was like they told me before I went. I was already warned. And I'm telling you, if you really start paying attention, you will start seeing so much of how the communication goes. I just was talking to somebody and they were, it's a new friend I made this weekend. And he was talking about, starting to hear his intuition and stuff like that. And he was saying that it was, kind of being firm and yelling at him, stop what you're doing and get in the house. Stop what you're doing and get in the house. And, and he wasn't following what they said. And that is one thing that is important, is that's a good way to recognize your intuition, your guidance and stuff. when they're yelling at you, it's when they're really trying that. I mean, you can argue, you know, you can always argue with them, and you may get in there later, you know, and get the consequence. It's all going to play out how it plays out, but it's important to be learning the communication. And so when they're yelling, because remember, they're always whispering. It's when you're not listening to the whisper, that's when they yell. So when they're yelling, it's good because then you can recognize them, you can hear them. But just know that it is the whisper is the what you're working towards. And so when you realize like that the signs and the whisper, like it all is going all day long. And so when I was what was that I was gonna say about that? Because let's see, there was something so I went, or something else I was gonna say. Well, maybe it'll pop back in my head. But so when I went to go to the camping thing, and it was trippy too because I got there, you know, the night before, and I got to my daughter's, and it was like its own thing. My granddaughter was there with her boyfriend, and they were barbecuing, and I don't know, you go into a vibration, you go into, it's like walking into a set, like I said, like in a movie. It's like walking into a set that is going, and then you start playing your role, and you know, you have these roles that you're still playing with everybody. Like everybody's still playing roles, even though it's like I had said before, it's kind of like people are locking in so to what it is they're about to experience in the awakening, however it's going to affect them. There's going to be so many people it's going to be affected with the money. It's going to, you know, really devastate them because of how much they put time and effort into going to work. And it's just going to be such a huge effect. But I think it's going to be kind of slow. But, you know, like, there won't be people going to work. Like, I don't know how it's all going to go down. Like, if let's say people go to work, what is today? Saturday. So, okay. So, if things started going Friday, which, man, when you see the New York stuff, it looks so strange. Like, and you can just feel the energy. Like, everything is becoming more highlighted, more brighter, or whatever it is. It's becoming more intense. And so, you know, that each place is locking into, like, the things that they're going to be working on. Ooh, it is kind of like, you know, going into their little caves of whatever is going to, how things are going to affect them. And I mean, probably people are like, yeah, with support systems and stuff like that, you know, but because I'm just thinking of like all these different people that I know, you know, in all different areas, and everybody having their own things. And so everybody's going to be affected differently when things go down. But so Monday, say everybody starts going to work and people start trying to use their cards, get gas, even this weekend. But even if the cars aren't working, because where that guy said that he was seeing all these cars weren't working, but people are like, well, you know, it's the weekend. They'll try and call and stuff, but there's always the weekend hiccup, you know. So you have to wait for Monday. So there'll be people that were trying to figure out by Monday. And then, and my card wasn't working. A lot of places it wouldn't work. And at one place you even had to slide it. It was, there was all sorts of problems. It was like, fuck, it was sweating me. Man, I was like, fuck. Man, if anything go down. But I was like, you gotta constantly tell yourself where you're supposed to be. Even when, oh yeah, because, so when she was gonna send me the money to get the gas, there was no internet, no internet. And so hers was working, but nowhere, my whole drive, it kept saying that I had no internet. And so I couldn't do anything. And so I couldn't get to the money. And I was like, right there, you know, I mean, it shows 5G, it shows bars on the thing, but there's no Wi-Fi anywhere. There's just nothing, you know, no internet anywhere to go. So I was like, it's just more manipulate, more creating chaos. But to me, you know, I was like, okay, well, I have 16 bucks in my account. I can stop, I can get some JoJo's, I'll get $12 in gas, and then I will, it'll be fine. You know, even if I can't get the money on the thing, even if I don't have my gas full or whatever, it'll be fine. And I'm sure I'll get home. And I'm not going to stress out about it. And so on all of the different things, no matter what obstacles, I would just be like, it's supposed to be that way. I'm supposed to, whatever's supposed to be is going to be. Whatever you're supposed to be learning, there's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to play games about or figure out. It's all happening. The lessons and everything are unfolding in front of you. And so anyways, when the weekend thing had started, and so I got there, and then my daughter was coming in. I was going to follow her out. And then we left, and I went up to the gas station, and the gas station was sitting there, and it was like $4.75 a gallon. I was like, fuck, I don't want to pay $4.75 a gallon. God damn, I was just here a couple days ago. It was $4.20 somewhere. I'll just go back to that place. And of course, I'm not thinking things through. And so the $4.75 refused to pay. Then I go down the street, and it was more expensive everywhere I went. And so then I went back to my daughter's, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna get gas on the way there to meet her. And then she's like, gas went up. It's real expensive everywhere. You're not gonna find it cheaper. And that $4.75 was the cheapest. All the places I ended up with the same kind of gas station as Shell, and I paid $5.09. And then there was the next one was going to be like $5.29. Like all of them it was just wacky, the whole thing with the gas and stuff. But so anyways, we got out there, and my one daughter had gotten there early, and so a whole bunch of them got there early, 2 families, and they were setting up their stuff. And there was a few tents. And so then my other daughter and we got there. And so then we went and we started setting our tent up. And my one daughter, she set hers up like a little bit away from us. And I was like, there's going to be more people are going to fill in. There's like, last time we came, there was a whole bunch of tents right through here. And so I was still thinking, you know, like it was just a bunch of families coming. And, you know, when I was there before, it was a lot more, it was low key. It was like different people had their music on, and people were barbecuing. It smelled good. It was just way more low key. And so it got so crazy where none of us were expecting it to turn into what it turned into. So, and it was really got windy. It was, when I first got there, it was such blue sky in Yakima. And then I went outside. Oh yeah, on my drive, it was mental because there was something doing these curlicues all up in the sky. And I was like, what in the hell is that? And then there was 2 like jet plane things going down next to each other, right next to each other, spiraling down like they were crashing, spiraling down, making this white smoke stuff spiral around. And they were both spiraling around next to each other. And I was like, what in the hell? And it didn't look like it would be a plane. It looked like it was way too tiny. And so then there was another one next to it doing the same thing at the same time, only it wasn't two of them, it was one. And it was spiraling. And then so I was like, is this some sort of air show? Are they really trying to throw it in our face? They're spraying? Like, what in the hell is going on? And then, and I had this big truck in front of me, but it was like I went under this bridge, and right when I did, there was 6 planes, and they were on their sides. They weren't flying like this. They were on their sides in this formation. What they looked like, they were only like almost like they were moving together, connected. Like they were so close together. And so I don't know. Some of the stuff is like, okay, so are they trying to like spill like this high technology military stuff? Like I mean, there's got to be some reason. In Seattle traffic, we're all sitting here and they're doing all this stuff. And then I tried looking on TikTok and there was nothing about it. And it was crazy. And so then I get to Yakima and this totally blue sky, but then they started having all this stuff and there was nothing being sprayed. It would just all of a sudden show up. I was like, that's got to, the satellites or whatever, something is, you know, whatever is up there, it just all of a sudden it evaporates or something. Like, are they releasing chemicals down here that are supposed to be to protect us now from the ones that were sprayed up here, like from the globalist intoxication, the fumigation, and now they're trying to put other ones and they're going out and making those, and then they're using the frequency to move this stuff away from us. You know, I mean, we don't know for sure what's going on, but whatever it is weird. There's weird shit. The sun, when it was coming up over in the one place, then the next day it was coming up over here in a totally different place. Then a few days later, when I'm back there again, it's coming up completely around the other side of the building. I was like, okay, that is just mental. And then the moon and the crescent and stuff is on the wrong side. Everything is upside down. And so, you know, all of this stuff switching right side up, like, but it's like, oh, it is kind of like we're waking up, we're switching, but it is like everything's not in sync yet. And it is going to be like when the thing is coming to sync, that's going to be like that boomerang kind of, the catch your attention kind of thing. But I don't know how slow the stuff is going to keep rolling to keep affecting people, because it keeps waking people up slowly. And then, you know, I mean, if they did it too abruptly, we'd probably have a whole bunch of these crazy people out naked, walking around shooting and stuff like that, because they're just losing their minds, you know. And the energies and stuff, if you don't have a strong mind, that's easy for all of the attachments and stuff to direct you to do weird random stuff like that. Like, I've seen so many wacky things, people going through stores, knocking shit down, just weird stuff, like, you know, really destructive. So anyways, we get to the camping thing, and when we get our tents set up, and then, you know, like, everybody's just kind of doing different things, go down the water and come up and eat and go down, you know, just doing different things like that. And so more and more people keep coming and coming and coming. And then just more and more and more. It's getting fuller and fuller. I tried to do a video. I haven't posted it yet on TikTok, but it was tripping me out because the AI was not showing what was really there. And, you know, on the sky stuff, there's so many different things that it doesn't show what your eyes are seeing. They show a different thing, like it's like a different set. It's weird. And so I tried to do videos to show how crazy this was. So all these tents start showing up, just tons. And these people are like professional. Like they come up with their rake, they're leveling ground, they're clearing it, they're putting their tents up, they're doing it so fast, they're putting in their air mat. Like it was crazy. It was like, just go, go, go. And they would come in like big groups, and like 5 tents would go up. And it was like, what? So we're all just like, then this group comes in and they start putting in lights. They were hanging lights and shit. And we're like, how are they going to run the lights? And we're like, they have a generator? Like, this is getting crazy. And you're still thinking like, okay, well, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We sure weren't thinking what was to come. And so, because you're out camping. And I don't know, there's like, it was just so trippy. And so it gets, more people are coming in. Now it's starting to get kind of dark. You know, we're over there and reading, and more people, just like nothing's stopping them. And they just keep coming and bringing more tents. They've got the lights now on, and they've got like a DJ. They've got karaoke. They've got like, it's fucking crazy. And so the party starts going, and the music is all fucking cranked, and all different kinds of music, and just tons of drinking. There was people saying they must have been doing way hardcore drugs or something. Because so you figure, you know, okay, well, you're doing that, like, but at dark, when people start going to bed, you're going to stop. And no, it didn't even slow down. And so then it's past dark, you know, and we didn't bring all these different lights. We were planning on, you know, like more of a mellow kind of camping. We thought it was like a whole bunch of different family groups up there to have, you know, kind of just low-key camp out things with families, and everybody was like in a certain mood. But no, it was like, so the music starts going, and the DJ guy or karaoke or whatever, so you got all these different people being super loud. It started raining. I thought, well, that would probably shut it down. No, that didn't shut it down. But at least I could tune into the raining, and so I dozed off. And so then there was more noise, and I woke up, and then all these lights. So you're not getting any dark, you know. That's the cool thing when you go out camping. It's so black, and there's it's totally lit up. And so, and they didn't just have string lights. They also had this big light that seemed to just shine right into my tent. And it was wild. It was just going and going. So I wake up again, and then I'm like tossing and turning, trying to get back to sleep. And the whole time, you know, I'm always like, whatever is going down, it's supposed to go down this way. You know, nothing is ever going the wrong way. It's not happening the way it's not supposed. It's always exactly what's supposed to happen happens. And so it was like, you know, I mean, I knew when it already had started. My one daughter, she was having a struggle that day anyways, because her dog was the one who was attacked. And then she had 2 dogs with her, and they were both very anxious. Stella was being anxious too. It was a lot of people just walking through. It was wild. And so it was like being at a party. Like, I didn't know this was like just a party camp place. But apparently it is. And so even at 2 in the morning, it was still going, and they had turned on some song that they would sing a part of it all together to. And when they would sing that part, they would turn it up really, really loud. And so I was like, okay, this is mental. What the fuck? What time is it? it's got to be fucking late. And I go and look, and it was like 2 in the morning. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, they are not stopping. This is going till dawn. This is just going to keep going. And so I'm trying to, like, get comfortable. I keep trying to get under my covers. And it was just, you know, so loud and so partying. And there were so many kids. So many kids. You know, so I'm sitting there thinking, like, oh my gosh, what's going to go down with these kids? Their parents just party all night, and then these poor kids are just left on their own all day? Like, what, what a strange kind of, like, situation. And so, and a lot of the kids, like, will come over and talk to me because they want to talk to Stella. And they want to touch the dog and stuff. So I'm always talking to the kids. Even I went down, which I got footage of it too, but it was not even showing how fucking cool it was. But the sunset, and I was gonna try and see some craft and stuff. There was definitely some clouds that looked like they were cloaking or something, but the it was so overcast, and the clouds were all like this pink color and stuff. So. And the way that it was getting so overcast today when I got there, and it was so blue, and then it just kept getting overcast, I was like, they're trying to cover something up. Like, it's like whatever is up in the sky, when it's in a certain place, they just do everything they can to cover it. And so, you know, I don't know, you know, what was up there, but it was sure like, the cloud, it just became so cloud covered, and or whatever their atmospheric, you know, stuff that they put on. But the TikTok, the TikToks I'll download, there was some really cool sky stuff. But then it was so windy and it was so cold that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna go back up. And they were making s'mores and stuff, so I was like, I'm just gonna go back up there. And so I didn't see any spaceship, but it wasn't seeming like I was gonna, and you know, because this is something is, you know, like when there's a group of people, like a big group of people, and they're celebrating and having a good time, that energy goes out. Like if you were looking at the planet, that would be lighting up a color. And that is why they did the whole thing with like stadiums, and that's why they have the rituals and stuff in the stadiums, because they use our energy, because of just for that reason, is when we come together and celebrate, it's a very magnetic, energetic that we put out. And so, you know, they want to get us into stadiums and then have rituals and stuff like that. So, but so when you're in a big group of people like that, like this camp thing, and there's all this energy, like there's so much energy, like you can just know, you know, even if you are just out driving way out in the dark, and you can see like certain cities up ahead, you can see the energy, you can see the light. From far back, you can see the light, but you can see like the whole energy. And so there is energy that comes. That's why they want to contain us in cities and stuff. They want to contain us and control our energy. And so, but so out here, you know, out in nature, out at this lake, and then all these people, and they're all celebrating, they're all having a good time. Like, but you know, we weren't prepared for that. Like, we had little kids with us, and we had people who had, you know, they were looking for a low-key nature experience, not a come here and, you know, everybody's coked out or something, staying up all night. And so I don't even know how long it went past that. I would think probably around 3 or 3:30 is when those one lights went out. And then there was some other lights, and there was still some noise and stuff. But things started, you know, closing down. But, you know, it was closer to 4 in the morning. And then for, you know, when you're out camping, you know, a lot of people go to sleep when it gets dark, and then they get up when it gets light, because it just is like, it's part of it. And so, you know, they fight against that, like stay up, Like, why not have the party during the day and then sleep in the night, but stay up all night? And so we were all like, okay, well, we got to go. Like, my one daughter, even last night, she was like, there's no way I am, because the music was already going, and your tent was shaking and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I just want to go to sleep. She was trying to read, like there's nothing. And so she was like, okay, I'm going to be going tomorrow. There's no way I'm going through this again. And so, yeah, we were all, by morning, everybody was like, yeah, we're just going to, go. Especially it was raining. It just started raining and raining and raining on us. And it was not clearing up, which to me, that's an energy thing. Like, I don't know. There's definitely, the rain seemed to be like coming on us right there. When I started driving out, I started being like, oh my gosh, there's no rain. It's really nice all over the place. There was a few places I went through where there was some sprinkles, but damn, I mean, it was raining on us. And then plus with this whole energy thing with this group. And so, we were packing up our stuff and everything. More and more people were coming. It was crazy. So many more people were coming. Like, they just cram in there. Just everybody's tent just crams in there. And then they just party together, I guess. Like, I don't even know if all the people get involved or if it's just like everybody knows it's a party beach and so everybody just goes there to party. When I left, it was like 11 o'clock. I think it was 11:11. And they had the music going. It was already going. And so I don't know if it was just going to go all day and then go all night or whatever. But it was like, oh my gosh. And so we were all going and, or like, this isn't our scene, our kind of beach or whatever. But it was not at all what I was expecting it to be, because I've never been, like, I know I have been on a camp trip before where it was like a party camp trip. Like, oh, everybody, let's just go and we're going to, sit around the campfire and drink and have fun and, skinny dip and stuff like that. And it was, but still, like, our group was kind of like, we had our own little isolated place, It wasn't like, we're in a group of hundreds of people running out there doing it. It was, just our group. So if we stayed up late, which, I'm pretty sure we stayed up late. We were probably obnoxious, running out and jumping in the water naked and stuff like that. But I don't think that we were disturbing a lot of other people, but I don't know. Well, I mean, we could have been, but I've just never been to a camp thing where it was like that, where because usually there's like common courtesies, like where you don't make noise after a certain time, just like in our neighborhood, we're not supposed to make noise after a certain time. And I was like, well, if this is a known party beach and this is what goes on every weekend, for all I know, they're up there selling tacos and beer. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Like, this is wild. But it was really, to me, it was like such a cool opportunity to get to experience something like, I have never experienced anything like that before. All of us. It was like, this is the wildest thing I've ever experienced on this camping thing. I've never seen people all pile in together like that, and then to just be like a giant ass party. I was like, fuck, the college kids would really, they could learn from this. But anyways, so I left. But before I left, it was really cool. Is one of the other people who was there just started waking up, I think he said in 2020. And so we started talking about things. I don't even remember how we got started talking about stuff. But anyways, we got started talking about spiritual stuff. And I was like, this is fucking worth it. The whole goddamn thing was worth it just to get to sit and speak with because then my son, so it's his friend, my son-in-law's friend and him. And so I got to sit and, you know, walk around, talk, smoke and talk and, with them about spiritual stuff. It was like, and then when you get, you know, with a bunch of people who want to talk about spiritual stuff, it's like we're all talking over each other. We all have so many things we want to say and talk, because, you know, you go and you start trying to talk to people and nobody wants to talk to you. Everybody thinks you're weird. Everybody thinks you're crazy. Why do you think about that? Why are you worried about that? Why are you know, and it's like, you're just waiting for everybody to wake up, because the conversations are going to get so much more interesting and so much more deep. And, but it seems like we're just like right on the edge. Because so if it was like, you know, the weekend, you know, where it does seem weird, like it seems weird. And then you go to, Monday, and then people start trying to go to the bank, and people start arguing with the bank. See, there could be people who go to work for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and not know they're not getting paid for any of that. Like, you know, it's going to be all different situations, all different scenarios are going to play out. Unless, you know, they come on and just do the emergency broadcast thing and tell us that we're under lockdown, which would be the smartest thing, is to just put us under some sort of a lockdown. And that would be the safest for a lot of people. But still, in the inner cities and stuff, there's going to be, you know, I mean, when you see the stuff going on already, people are losing their minds. And so, and it's that energy, all that crazy energy from all the different people, it's too compacted. And, you know, every little city that you go through on these little portal highway things, every little one has its own energy. And so its own movement, its own stuff. And then each subcategory, each person's home, each office, each place has its own. It's so, man, and then you're trying to bounce around to all these different energies. So it's super, super intense. It's super intense right now. And so, you know, as it's switching, then, you know, people are going to keep seeing. People are going to hear more and more conversations. People are going to see more and more things. People are going to have more, like it's picking up speed. But then there's going to be where there's going to be the impactful things that are going to go down. The money, the government. It just blows my mind. These people who think they're so awake, who are on like TikTok and I'm sure Twitter, all of those, who, my hair stays wet for pretty long, that, the whole motherfucking time, all they do is talk about election, about government, about, it's like, dude, half those motherfuckers are already dead. Like, government is ending. You're not awake if you think the government is not ending. The government, it's a part of the whole thing. It's what leads us to freedom. We live by God's law. We no longer live by man's law. You only live by man's law when you give man the respect that he doesn't deserve by setting your laws. Because the laws are written inside of you. You have no other law that you need to abide by. Fucking speed limits and all their bullshit laws that they try and fucking trap us to contain and control us. So all of those are all going away. There's not going to be governing forces. There's going to be communities where they're going to have, you know, meetings, or they'll set up their own way of how they want to do their communities. But it's not going to be under a federal, national, global, even state-wide government. I think that a lot of states are even, I mean, I think when that's going on in Tennessee, isn't it Tennessee? Where it's going, was it Memphis? One of the cities that's now going to go to the Republic is going to be the first freedom city. And so, see, there's going to be cities that are going to bust off from the state. We're not going to be like all their state, their city, their this, their that, their county, all their bullshit was all just their bullshit to control us, to contain us, control us, to make it sound like it was pretty cool. Like, we got states, we got government, we got this, we got that, we got police, we got all of it. It was all nonsense that never had to be there. And so all of it has got to be let go of. But people are dependent on it. It's like they're dependent on the Western medicine. So all of the things have to keep, you know, falling apart. Okay. All the things have to keep, well, I wasn't planning on talking super long today, but I'll talk in the morning, and then I'll be able to see more of what's going on. I didn't see hardly, I saw a guy talking about these ATM machines not working, but you know, I mean, we're right on the edge of stuff going, but it's going to probably just keep going kind of slow and painfully ripping this bandage off, you know, like fucking people who go to work for weeks who won't get a paycheck, who, you know, the different ways that people are going to be impacted, unless, you know, they do just lock it down and turn on the internet, turn off the internet, turn on the quantum, then start telling us things on the TV, which it would seem like that would be the best thing. But, you know, who knows? And, well, there were people who thought because now that the film was back out on Hillary that they were going to do that. But they want this stuff to be released. They want people to wake up. They want people to know what's going on in the world. So then the more that people keep waking up and talking about it, the more people are not going to be able to get away from it. You're going to hear people all the time. Like, you know, it's not going to stop. Oh, yeah, and she's got a big lump on the back of her leg. I got to soak her leg. But I will be back in the morning and talk more. But anyways, so I had a great weekend. I got to have this crazy adventure, this crazy experience that, like, when will I ever get a chance, like, to experience something like that again? It was crazy. And then got to meet somebody who wanted to talk about spiritual stuff. Got to have some great conversations. I had a great weekend. And so anyways, but I'm going to be home for a few weeks. And so I will, you know, be able to see. I saw Trump was talking tonight, but just saw the election thing. Because see, the people who, they're all still caught up in that shit. It's not fucking... it's all going to have to just be pulled away, you know, little by little. They're going to have to see, you know, that he's going to show it in a slow process. And, you know, all those people will go down. And then, you know, he's going to, like, we don't want that job. There could be, you know, that, you know, transition, helping people, you know, to kind of release government, like we'll transition into freedom cities or something, and then push more people to get involved in community and push people to kind of, you know, take a stand in their life. What do you want out of life? What do you want out of community? Because that's what it's trying to get people to push them into taking roles, being active members in their own life, and not just being, you know, an empty consumer slave that is just being programmed all the time. And so, you know, it's such a transformation going through all of the stuff, you know, seeing all the people who just are so dedicated to working and taking on more shifts, and, you know, and the people who have jobs right now are happy to have jobs, you know, and that is like, you know, but you got to be releasing the jobs. You got to be letting go of them. And one good thing is that all the different people I know are directing their energy towards growing independence and growing their own food, getting off of, you know, off the paycheck and into independence, you know, like work, you know, if it's barter trade, like working more, putting their energy towards what it is that they want. Even people who are working at jobs, they're still, you know, they're the ones that I know are still putting out certain energy of really trying to help people. And so that is the energy where it is going to be, you know, transforming into the new one. But don't forget, even people who are completely just 3D trap, mind trap, who have no clue, you know, some are going to be walking around shooting up the streets, and others are going to see that somebody's shooting up the street, and it's going to all of a sudden be like, you know, and wake them up. So, you know, that's why we need these crazy people out shooting those streets, because that's waking people up. So, you know, that's why there's going to be crazy, crazy shit, because it's waking people up. So, you know, just keep in mind, this is just movies, storylines, you know, playing out. You're going into movie sets. You're being your role, working with the other characters and stuff. So, okay, well, Miss Drama Queen's not going to stop. So, but I'll be back in the morning and I'll pick up pretty much where I left off. But anyways, hopefully everybody else is staying safe and having a good weekend. It does seem to be strange energy, and I did feel like it was kind of like the universe wanted me to be back home. Like, it really felt like all of us were like, we need to get home. And so I don't know. I don't know if it's a sign, you know. Sometimes you don't know what the sign is until after. You know, there's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to be able to look back and see, oh, we saw that, oh, you know, it is, but the more you can get into reading the signs in your life and staying in communication, the more things, you know, you're just not fighting against the world. You're not fighting against the energy. You're just in sync. You're in flow. So it is important to just keep working on that. You know, the communication, and to understand that things are happening, that you can't stop what's happening. It's happening for you, and everybody who crosses your path there's a reason. There's a reason, and it is to expand you. Everything right now is about expanding and healing and growing. So everything that you're approaching, you know, a crazy situation that happens, just think, what am I learning from this? What can I grow from this? What am I supposed to witness from this? What am I supposed to see? You know, and maybe it's going to trigger a past life memory. And that's something you got to heal. You know, it can be anything. I've seen crazy stories too. Like this lady, she was out helping homeless people. And it was, I don't even know how it got brought up. Something about her mom's name. And this homeless guy she's out there helping knew who her mom was, knew her mom like back when they were younger or something. And it's like our paths are not, the degrees that we are apart from each other is that we're way closer than we think. And everybody who's coming into your orbit, they're there for a reason. It is always for a purpose. Nobody would come into your orbit if it wasn't. And so, anyways, I will talk more about it tomorrow, and I will talk to you later. Bye.